I'll make this quick, and here are the top 3 mistakes I see veterans make all the time. And I'm going to tell you what you can do to fix those mistakes so you stop making the same mistakes that all veterans are making every single day. Starting with number 1, mistake number 1, and by far the most common, is veterans simply do not know what to submit for. They might go speak to a VSO to submit something because they heard about VA disability. But when they get there, the VSO will ask them, well, what do you want to submit? And all of a sudden, that veteran's life flashes before their eyes because they have no clue, one, what's wrong with them right in that moment. And they've never thought about VA disability at all. So most veterans have no idea what you even can submit for in the first place. It is the world of the unknown unknowns, meaning you don't know what you don't know. That question never popped into their head, and that's extremely common. I myself fell into that stereotype when I was first submitting for my VA claim. So if that's you, don't worry, I was there at one point as well. Now, fixing this is actually super easy. I'm gonna link a video below that talks about something called the master condition list. But for right now, I'm just going to show it to you very briefly on what the resource looks like. It's on Reddit. It's free, and I'm going to pin that video below in the pinned comments, along with all the other 3 mistakes. I'm going to be pinning videos too. So here is the Reddit page. By the way, if you get value from this channel, hit like, subscribe, comment below what you think are more mistakes that veterans make every single day. But here's the master condition list. It's in ABC order. Abdominal pain, everything you can think of, acid reflux, acne. I'm just going to scroll to the middle here so you can see it. Now we're in the L. So lazy eye, learning disabilities, leg limitation of extension, flexion. Scrolling down, I mean, look how many disabilities there are here. I can't even pronounce that. Polio, poly, post-traumatic arthritis, post-traumatic stress disorder. That's somewhere in here. There we go. That's the resource. And the video I'm going to pin below really goes into understanding what you can claim, thinking from head all the way to your toes. So TBI, neurological, mental health, migraine, sinuses, ear conditions, skin conditions, face conditions, neck, chest, shoulders, elbows, forearms, wrist, fingers, nerves within the arms, okay? Mid back, lower back, abdominal stuff, your hips, the whole 9. The video really goes into what you can or what you should and should not claim and how to prepare your evidence for that. So go ahead and check that out. That's definitely mistake number 1. Now, mistake number 2 on this list is veterans are submitting evidence that means absolutely nothing. And this comes really in 2 categories. One is personal statements or buddy letters that add 0 value to the claim. I see it all the time. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. Someone who's been diagnosed with sleep apnea and is going secondary to PTSD, your statement on how PTSD causes your sleep apnea means diddly squat. At that point, you have a diagnosis. You're going for secondary service connection. You need a solid medical opinion and multiple correlating factors. That would be one example. Okay, there are many factors involved with that. That's just one. Now, lay evidence like statements support the evidence you already have, or they recall an event that can be referenced and verified by some other means. On the tier of evidence that matters, there's a totem pole of important evidence. Lay evidence and statements aren't even on this list. Okay, they're way down here below, out of frame. Now, for the Board of Appeals, that's a whole different story. That's not what we're talking about here. Board of Appeals statements do carry more weight, at least in my opinion. For the overwhelming majority of VA claims, your statements need to support the evidence you already have. I'm also going to link a video on what a perfect statement would look like, and I use migraines as the example. The other aspect to submitting evidence that doesn't matter is going to be things like your studies or previous case decisions by the Board of Appeals. The VSR at the regional office does not care what studies you submit with your claim because they aren't a medical professional and neither are you. You don't even know if that study relates to your claim or not. It might be sleep apnea secondary to PTSD, but the factors involved in that study may not even relate to you. Doctors have a joke that they went to school for a long time to be a physician, so they can read medical studies really well. And that there's a lot of truth to that. Trust me, we're not on that level. Don't even try to be on that level. It's not the same. And your VSR does not care what studies you submit. They don't even care what a previous decision the board made. It doesn't matter to them at all. BVA, Board of Appeals, different story. Regional office, they don't give two squats. You're literally cluttering your claim and you're wasting your time, and the rater is not going to look at it. They're not even going to read it. Okay. I'm very serious about that. The rater is going to heavily rely on the C&P examination and the examiner's opinion on whatever dumb evidence you submit to the Mayo Clinic means diddly squat. Okay. It's really just a C&P exam and that examiner's opinion. Again, the Board of Appeals, different story. Now, number 3 on this list, and this is going to be a bit controversial, not that the other two weren't. It's going to be checking the status of your claim multiple times per week, or even worse, every day. Tons of people do this, okay? Listen to me very carefully here. Nothing that you find from the claim update on va.gov or the claim tracker tool is going to put you at ease. It's only going to add more stress in your life. It's only going to increase the stress in your life. I wouldn't even recommend submitting for your C&P exam results because, again, what are you going to do with it? Okay. Outside of preparing for your appeal, what are you going to do with your C&P exam results? The answer is nothing. All right. Submit your evidence-based claim, prepare for your C&P exam, and speak through the lens of your in-service event and your current diagnosis and current treatment, and let that claim ride. All right. Submitting your evidence-based claim up front, much better than saying, well, I already had my C&P exam. Can I submit more evidence? I want to slap you. Okay. Just so you know, if that's you, I won't because I love you, but I want to. Okay. Just know the desire is in me to slap you for saying that because you should have submitted all of your evidence from the get-go. Checking the status of your claim is only going to increase your stress, and depending on what you have going on up here, okay, that could be really bad or at a minimum, a frustrating day. Now, what can you do to fix that? Honestly, nothing except for just submit and forget outside of preparing for the C&P exam. Let it ride out. It's going to be a while unless you have a fully developed claim, the private Nexus and a private DBQ. It's going to take a long time, and that just is what it is. I hope you got value from this channel, from this video. And if you did, like, subscribe, comment below on what you think the most common mistakes are.